leaders, this is Hian with Friends of Irony, protecting families by protecting the pack. And today I'm going to be releasing version 1.05, the latest version for the auto tuning by HatterBot. And it's able to now use a Chrome browser, and it's pretty much fix some bugs that we had as far as like not displaying the proper result at the end, and also back testing way too fast and what it can catch on the results. So let me show you how to use it. Okay, now when you install it, make sure you uninstall the old one with the previous video. There's a video that on this playlist that shows you how to uninstall and then reinstall a fresh version. Once you do that and load this up, this is gonna be frozen for a while as it installs support files. So you kind of get a blank screen. It says loading up here for a while. Kind of give it like good 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Just wait there. You see a little idling of the cursor. It starts to like little circle loading. So just wait for that to load. Once it's done loading, this will pop up. Okay. Now just like everything else, so we won't be using this browser anymore. But so I, decided to give you guys my Friends of Irony store that you can check out while you're bored. So you want to put 10% there, and right now that you see it's empty, what you want to do is then hit the auto fix. It'll load up 10% all the way across. Now if there's anything that you want to change, you want to move at 25%, you can definitely do that wherever you want to load it at. Okay, now I kind of don't want to move it that much, so that's my thing. So I'm just gonna put it back to 10%. I think that's a good start for anyone who starts off with this. Okay, and once that is done, you want to be able to add your trade server name. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to it so I can kick it off. You don't actually have to use any of this stuff here. You can just click launch a browser right away and manually enter it on the Chrome browser that pops up. But just to demonstrate it, this is kind of like stuff for later on as let's say the browser crashes, I can then restart it if we have username and password stuff already set up. Okay, and what I'm going to be doing later on is to be able to store a session so that you won't need your username and password to log back in anymore. Okay, but for now I'm going to enter it just to demonstrate, but you don't actually have to need it. You can just launch a browser and log it right in. So we're going to go ahead and launch off the Google Chrome browser. It's going to kick off and you see something like this. Don't close this bar. I think I've closed it once and it didn't work, so I think leave it on. But you can try it, see if it works or not. So now it should log me. Well, actually I don't have a two-factor, so it'll just kind of error out. So, but you can kind of see that it'll start to fill in the information, I think, once it loads up. So it fills in my name and username, and it's gonna try to hit submit, but of course it's not gonna work. So it resets. So I'll have to reset it again. So I need a two-factor, because before I didn't have a two-factor on there, but now that I made it by IP address, I have a two-factor. Okay. So you can log, and I have a video on showing you how to connect to your VPS on your own desktop, so that you can quickly work on your stuff without having to log in. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pick something here. Let's go with Vibe. I think Vibe needs to be worked on. I've kind of deactivated because of the new latest Mad Hatter update, and so as I update it with my auto tuner, I turn it back on. So there it is. I'm gonna go ahead, and you don't have to click full screen, but what I would do now, you can basically just hit this guy. Oh shoot. Okay. I don't know why it's showing on the left side of my thing. It's weird. Alright, you can basically select MA settings period and then just walk away from it. Start at 2 weeks, hit start optimization, and then it's gonna go ahead and load. And that's pretty much it. So what it's gonna do is gonna go through the MA settings, which is the moving average type. It's gonna find the best moving average setting, starting from WMA, weighting moving average, and move all the way through to DEMA, double exponential moving average. It seems to be picking the proper moving average seems to be the biggest leap in ROI. Once it has leaped to the biggest one, then it goes in on that setting that had the best and starts to perturb each of the Mad Hatter safeties, boiler bands, the RSI, and then the MACD. and it just cycles through that until it finds the best setting and the best ROI, the best setting for the best ROI at the 2-week back test period. Once that is done, it'll then start to move the back test period to 1 week, and then do the settings test again to then push the settings down to the most current back test, which is 1 day. So once it gets to 1 day, then it stops and it's done. While it's doing that, you can kind of monitor it to see what's going on here. See here. So, so it's on the moving average type. So as it does moving average type, you can monitor it right here. It'll kind of list out, what moving average is doing as far as ROI. Now this is the index here, which is kind of from top bottom. So to talk about that, so the first one would be minimum change to buy, minimum price change to sell, and that's your stop loss, your Bollinger Band length, Bollinger Band up, Bollinger Band down, or dev up, dev down, right? And then this is your deviation. That's your RSI length, buy level, sell level, MACD fast or slow, whichever one it is. MACD slow, MACD fast, and then MACD signal, and then the weighted moving average. And this is your total profit right here, total gain, total fee, total gain, and your ROI. Okay, so it just kind of goes down this list if you kind of need references. I'll have a better user interface later, not this week. This whole week was just trying to get things to be stable on this new browser, so I had to rewrite everything. And there were some times where I lost all my code, and not lost, but I lost a day's worth of code, and I had to rewrite it. Alright, so now out of this, it picks the best one, which is, it looks like from here, 20%, 2263, so it looks like Mama is the best one. So I should have picked this one. Oh no, actually SMA, it's 21688. So comma, that's the next best one. So I think I picked comma, I think it's already there. So yeah, I picked comma. You can kind of see already. And then it goes in and does the settings, so you can then see where it is. So the independent variable 1 means it's working on this variable here, the minimum price to sell. As this moves to 2, it will move to the stop loss, and it'll start to change those numbers. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to the side so you kind of see what's going on. And now it's at number 2, right? So it's gonna start to change stop loss, so it's changing that number, positive, negative. But sometimes the numbers don't make sense, so there is no such thing as a negative stop loss. So when you put it in there, Haas will correct it to 0, okay, which is what it did. We just saw that. Alright, so basically it'll cycle through. If there's any improvement at all, this will reset to 0, and it'll start to improve it even more. So let's say if BB length to 28, I guess 10% will be 24, and improved it. It'll then cycle to the next one and go back and improve it further to 26, 28, and keep pushing further, because this no improvement will keep cycling through. If it cycles through the whole thing, you see no improvement equals to 13. That means the cycle through the entire variable, nothing has changed and it hasn't improved. Then that's the final ROI right there. It's going to reset everything to the proper setting of the best ROI, and then it's going to bring the back test down to 1 week and start the process all over again until we get to a 1 day point with the best ROI. Of course, the ROI is going to drop, so it resets it for every period, and brings the settings over to the next one. Okay, and so then that's pretty much it. We've also fixed a few things where it makes for the backtest to end. So but once the backtest ends, then it'll move on to and extracts the ROI. So it kind of waits for that, ends it, extracts the data, moves on to the next one. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Since it's stable now, it'll probably take I think each run takes about maybe 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes up to an hour if there's a continuous improvement. But if it doesn't improve very much, then it kind of ends pretty quick. But usually I'll just run it, go do something, hang out with the family, check it after an hour or two, then update my settings. Just double check everything, open the analyzer, make sure it's trading where you need it to trade. If you're not happy with it, do a different guess and then run it through again so that it'll come through. On the next iteration, I'll probably have some settings where you can then have an initial guess where it's a little more aggressive. It trades a little more regularly. And I'll have like more of a regular, more of a aggressive, and also a table of database where we'll pull settings from existing coins with similar price points as a starting point, and then massage it from there. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for now. I've been working on this. We're gonna be going on a trip tomorrow, but I haven't mentioned that yet. So I figured I'd release it to you today, and that way I can have a peace of mind that you guys have a working software, and you guys can start using it. I think I should probably go to bed now. It's like 3 a.m. and I'll probably have to wake up by 8 to get going. So you guys enjoy, have a good time, have a good weekend, and if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, have a good one.